Hi Henry, it's great to be at Forest Green Rovers today. Thanks very much for having me.
No, you're very welcome. Great to have you here, Maria.
So we're absolutely delighted to be official legal partner to Forest Green, and for us it's about collaboration, having the conversation around sustainability and working together in terms of how we can really drive forward the agenda to get to net zero.
You'll see from looking around the stadium that all of our partners have a green focus. We don't allow greenwashing. There's a lot of that going on now, so we really look at our partners and see what they're doing and what their future plans are, and are they actually tangibly doing things.
Sustainability is important in its own right, but it's all those other things that we can both do as part of the wider community. And we're talking with you at the moment around education, so how we get sort of sustainability, that social value piece, deep-rooted in education at a very early stage and working with schools and other partners. It's really exciting.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. We've got a fantastic community trust here that works within probably up to 100 schools throughout the district and further afield, and getting recycling and the environment and aspects like that onto the curriculum is something we're working hard on. In the meantime, we're putting modules in place through local schools where kids just learn what recycling is.
So one area of key synergies between us, Henry, is our passion for clean energy. So in our HQ, we've installed solar panels, battery storage, EV charging infrastructure. I'm just keen to understand a bit more as to what you're doing here.
So we're known as the world's greenest football club, and a big part of that is our energy supply. So our chairman, Dale Vince, basically founded green energy in the UK back in, I think it was 1996. His first wind turbine is just up the hill there. So we are powered purely by the wind turbine through the grid, obviously, so green energy, and also the solar panels on the roof over there. We've got some batteries installed that power the LED boards. The storage in those batteries is from purely the wind and the sun. So we're just showing a different way of doing things that you don't have to compromise on quality or match day experience.
You are, of course, the first vegan football club. Really keen to hear, Henry, just a little bit more around that.
When Dale took over the club in 2010, he realised that he was effectively part of the meat trade because there was beef lasagna for players and fans. So over the next few years, it became fully vegan, the world's first. It got mocked by both home and away fans, but over time, people have learned to love it, and even if they don't want to enjoy it, we know from the letters and the feedback that we get that actually fans love the vegan food. They're very habitual. They want their pie and their pint, and we don't stop them doing that. We just ask them to have a vegan pint and a vegan pie. Personally, I think it tastes better. It costs the same, and it's healthy. It's better for you.
And having been here on many occasions, I personally experienced that and echo everything you say there. It's brilliant. And we both came here today, Henry, in electric vehicles, and needless to say, electric vehicles will play a huge role in terms of the transport mix going forward.
We are now working obviously with Fully Charged as our stadium naming right partner, and they're introducing us to a lot of their brand clients in the automotive sector, to see what kind of different prototypes we can trial here. So we can try lots of different electrification initiatives.
And again, we've looked at that at firm level as well. Recently launched a green car scheme. But of course, it's not just about EVs, it's the wider transport piece. And I think public transport will continue to play a huge role. Again, just keen to get your view on that wider transport piece as well.
With players, we offset all of their travel. With fans, there's an element of their ticket price that is offset as well. We do encourage them to cycle here, but as you would have seen, we're at the top of a massive hill. But we do have a park and ride, our own personal park and ride down at the bottom of the hill here. So that's very popular on match days. There's incentives. We're working with local garages where they give discounts to our staff and players. Another thing we do for fans in the transport area is we work with a company called Scoot, who are a partner of ours. It's a very new product, but it's very cool. It's a lift sharing app, and they offset miles and they have leaderboards, and they're really encouraging people to travel together as much as they can, just to reduce emissions on the road.
Apps and technology have got a huge role to play in this going forward, and what we're sort of currently looking at just right now is sort of an app as to how staff, when they're working from home perhaps, can sort of measure their own sort of carbon footprint. So definitely a conversation we should continue to have around that, Henry.
Companies need to do more, and by more I mean anything. A lot of companies make a lot of noise. They say they're going to do things, but then they maybe get concerned that it's too complex or it's too expensive. But the way we look at it is that there's a lot of low-hanging fruit that companies can tackle. They can call up a new energy supplier within 20 minutes. They can add a vegan option to their staff menu. We think that companies need to do more, but that it doesn't need to be a complete culture shift from day one. They just need to do something to get themselves on that journey.
So I think it's really important that businesses understand what sustainability means for them. But I think increasingly, Henry, we're seeing a direct correlation between sustainability and well-being. And I think there's a lot to be gained by combining those initiatives. And if we look at Mental Health Awareness Week, this year, we identified various sort of activities which looked at nature and mental health awareness, and it just got people away from their screens, thinking about how nature can so positively influence that mental health and well-being agenda.